Thank you, Santa. It's official. Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos will visit Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams on Christmas Day on CBS. That is the ultimate present to us, the NFL fans. Two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, two teams thinking Super Bowl. Obviously, Russell Wilson battled the Rams so brilliantly in classic games forever when he was in Seattle going head-to-head with the legendary Aaron Donald and that defense, and the game's going to be on CBS and a Nickelodeon broadcast. I mean, how awesome is that? The star power in this game is superb. Russell Wilson is sensational and obviously oozes charisma and talent. He's built for a stage like this, and he makes the Denver Broncos a playoff team. There's no doubt in my mind they are heading to the playoffs this year because the Broncos, look, they've always had talent, but Russell Wilson takes cats like Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, takes them to new heights. Javonte Williams is going to sizzle as a second-year running back. I want him getting all the carries. Sorry, Melvin Gordon. And the Rams' ability to run it back and win another one is real and spectacular. LA is amazing and loaded once again. And the star power is omnipresent. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Ramsey, Stafford and Donald. Now you add someone like Allen Robinson to Sean McVay's mix. And I love the NFL dropping a bit of a hammer on sports programming in general and specifically in LA. Normally it's the NBA on Christmas, and I'm sure it will be again. And of course, it's always LeBron and the Lakers at home, and the NFL is staging a game on CBS in LA on Christmas, and all eyes are going to be on it. Color me obsessed. I cannot wait. Al Horford was angry and then possessed, and I love it all. Giannis Antetokounmpo stared him down, and just like Michael Jordan, Al Horford took it personally. And I didn't have Al Horford channeling his inner MJ on my bingo card. The Celtics went from defunct to fun and dominant as Horford had the game of his life. 16 points in the fourth quarter, including that monster dunk over Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's 35 years old. I've said it out loud and I meant it that Al Horford has the mobility of a potted plant or a lamppost. What we saw last night was unprecedented, literally a playoff career high, and it was flat out amazing. Horford and Jason Tatum were the heroes, and Tatum bounced back from a brutal Game 3, and frankly, 3 really bad quarters last night. Tatum was unstoppable in the fourth quarter, 12 huge points, basically hit every shot, and he was playing like the superstar that he is. This was an inspired comeback win for the Celtics and a bad loss for the Bucks, seemingly cruise control. Giannis Antetokounmpo put up great numbers, but he clearly was taxed and clearly missed our guy Chris Middleton. The injury for Middleton loomed large as nobody else could step up in support of Giannis. And Giannis, you see him right there, he was spent. This had all the makings of a bad loss for Boston, but in a lot of ways, the win was a mirror image of the season for Ime Udoka's team. Dealt with a bad start, got it together when it mattered the most to become elite. That's Boston Celtics basketball. If you love sports, that was flat out awesome last night. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani hitting home runs in the same game for the first time since 2019. That's just wow. And look at this laser that Mike Trout absolutely cranked. And then Ohtani went yard as the next batter. Back-to-back home runs from the greatest of all time to the unicorn. I mean, that's gorgeous. And then for good measure, Shohei Ohtani rocked his first career Grand Slam. First with the Angels, and he never hit one in Japan. The Angels are awesome, just as we predicted. I love the home run cowboy hat celebration. You realize they lead the league in home runs, and OPS. They lead all of baseball in those categories. And they're 10 games over 500 since Joe Madden walked Corey Seager with the bases loaded. Unconventional, but it worked. And something Joe Madden on my SiriusXM radio show told me that he did to give the team a spark. They're 10 games over 500 since. The pitching has been great. Noah Syndergaard has been lights out. And the numbers for Trout and Ohtani, inspiring. Trout is healthy after missing most of last year, and he's back to being the best baseball player on the planet and arguably the greatest baseball player who's ever lived. The Angels are 20-11. They are in first place, and we're getting to witness peak Ohtani and Trout at the same time. As a baseball fan, this is as great as it gets. The Miami Dolphins are signing veteran running back Sony Michel to a one-year deal. So, can the Miami Dolphins win the AFC East this season? Let's talk this out. First and foremost, I love the Sony Michel signing because Sony Michel has a ton of talent. I thought he was really strong. You see the numbers right there with the Super Bowl champs last year. Remember, when Akers was hurt, Sony Michel was getting the lion's share of the carries, and he deserves a lot of credit for helping the Rams win a lot of games. And they added a lot of pieces at running back for Tua Tagovailoa. I love Edmonds. I love Mostert. I love Sony Michel. Obviously, the headline for Tua, of course, is Tyreek Hill, who's the #1 game breaker at the wide receiver position in the league. Waddle's unbelievable. Still can't believe that they signed Ced Wilson, too. Oh, by the way, they brought in Armstead on the offensive line. It's all there for Tua Tagovailoa to be a great quarterback. Josh Allen's winning the division. Now, we can compare literally any team in the NFL to the Bills. We can compare any quarterback in the NFL for this upcoming season to Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen. Give me Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's going to be my pick to win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen's going to be my pick to win the MVP. But the Miami Dolphins should be thinking about the division. The Miami Dolphins, with Mike McDaniel as the head coach, with all those aforementioned playmakers, with Tyreek Hill, with Tua taking that jump, with good players on defense, don't sell yourself short. Seriously, the Miami Dolphins should win a minimum this year of 11 games. Minimum. I know the AFC is loaded. It's unprecedented talent in the conference. I think the Dolphins are an 11-win team, bare bones minimum, and I think Tua Tagovailoa is going to shut up the haters. Staying in the AFC, Chargers quarterback Asante Samuel Jr. said the addition of J.C. Jackson, quotes, what we definitely need. So, do the Chargers have the best defense in the AFC? Let's talk this out. Yes. Yes, they do. Khalil Mack is a stud, and you put him opposite of Joey Bosa, that's going to be amazing. J.C. Jackson makes plays. You know what they didn't do back there in the defensive backfield for the Chargers? They didn't make plays. And I think what's very underrated on the board here, Covington, Johnson, and most especially Sebastian Joseph Day at the defensive tackle position. And remember, Joseph Day played for Brandon Staley. They were together with the Rams. And look, the numbers last year were good. Obviously, they need to be much better in crunch time when it comes to run defense. So, you know, it might be crazy when you consider, the best in the AFC. Listen, they are loaded with stars. Derwin James is electrifying. First team All-Pro. I voted for him. Joey Bosa's fantastic. They're well coached. They're well coordinated. I love this Chargers defense. And look, you look at the landscape in the AFC, there's teams that are just loaded with talent. Gobs of talent. Quarterback play is unbelievable. I don't think you have in the conference a classically great defense. You have, the Titans have a great defensive line. You have playmakers at linebacker at different teams. The Bills have a good defense. I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on the Chargers. The Colts will be in the conversation. The Chargers are going to have the single best defense in the AFC this year. Bears' new offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy. He gets it. He said he's super impressed with quarterback Justin Fields. This comes a week after Chicago said, quote, they're all in on the second-year quarterback. So, what is a fair expectation of Justin Fields in year 2? Let's talk this one out. Well, improvement. And the problem is, Ryan Poles, the new general manager, inherited a disaster, a debacle. The offensive line is terrible, the receivers are terrible, and Justin Fields last year got negied. Look it up in the dictionary. The act of ruining a quarterback. I mean, that completion percentage is sickly. More interceptions, compare and contrast to touchdowns, and the whole Andy Dalton QB1 situation. And, Mitch Trubisky, obviously, he struggled his first couple of years in Chicago. And, in 2018, he got negied. There's no question about that. And obviously, that's why, Chicago had to get rid of him. And then you realize, hey, maybe it's Matt Nagy's fault. I still believe in Justin Fields. And, you can see athletic quarterbacks rebound after slow starts. Oh, here's Josh Allen. Remember the haters, Twitter tough guys, trying to tell me that my guy Josh Allen was never going to materialize and never going to amount to anything after the first 2 years, and they were wrong and I was right. I'm not saying Justin Fields is going to be Josh Allen. I wish this team had more talent around him. Look, the Bears had a solid draft according to the Draftniks, but I was very, and we talked about this last week on Talking Out Tuesday, I disagreed with the strategy. Should have drafted George Pickens. He needed weapons on offense because year 3, with a young quarterback in the first round, you need to make the playoffs, especially when you're on that rookie contract. I need to see progress and then go time to make the playoffs in the 3rd year. I feel better. I'm glad we talked that out. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.